Do you think photography could become like a multi-million dollar industry?
Yeah, it is already.
It is.
Yeah, it is already. But you have to work hard to get there.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to my channel. With the rise of smartphones, social media, and photo editing apps, we have seen how so many young Gambians, myself included, we have been showing interest in this photography and the creative industry in general. But for so many of us, like, we don't know what we are doing. We just go around, take a picture of whatever looks cool, and then, drop it in Photoshop or Lightroom, play with the colors, adjust the vibrance and the saturation, the blues, the yellows, and everything, and then drop it on Instagram and call it photography. We basically don't know what we're doing. So that is why I got in touch with this guy, one of Gambia's finest photographers, to share some tips and tricks with us. Let's get into it.
Tip number one, always shoot with what you have. Like, you don't have to wait until you have certain stuff to start something. I mean, in whatever profession it is, so if you make a jangala so they, always get up and then just start with what you have. So in photography, if you have a phone, you can start with a phone, but always shoot with what you have. Just using me as an example, I started with an iPhone 6, taking pictures of places, and eventually got a Canon, and then now, I have better cameras, but always start with what you have. You can shoot with Samsung, Android, whatever you have, just shoot with that. So tip number two, you have to reach out to people. You always have to reach out to people. This is a very big industry. Low ham, so always reach out to people. Make sure you learn, from them. For example, I've reached out to different people, Cray, Tall Black Band, Mamus, Manka, the list goes on. I've learned a lot from other people. So reach out to people and share knowledge with them and, learn from them and collaborate and, just work on yourself and, that's the way you grow and build a good relationship with other people. So it's very important to, reach out to people and learn from them. Tip number three, you have to practice. Nga practice, it's nothing. You have to always practice. Because so nga talk, so you always have to go out and practice. Look for people, look for subjects, look for places to shoot, look for events to shoot. Just even them someone like, okay, I have an idea of this and this, so can we please shoot? Always reach out to people and shoot, practice, and then just do what you have to do. Like for me, example, I've been working with my friends. I've used my brothers for modeling, my sisters and all that. So you have to always look for people for stuff to shoot, and in that way, so always practice. Tip number four, you have to stand out. Like I said, this is a very big industry. A lot of people have their different styles. So you have to come out different. You don't have to follow someone else's path because but in the first place. So you always have to look for something that defines your work. You have to look for your own style. For example, me, you when it's well, I mean, it takes time, but you have to keep practicing and look for the style, the colors, whatever that works for you, and then just make sure you stand out. You can always learn from people. You can always follow people's steps. You can always use motivation from other people, but always look for a way to stand out and make sure people recognize your work. People, whenever they see your work, they know. I mean, you're the one that shot the thing. So always, stand out. Tip number five. I mean, as a creative, so you have that. So whatever you're doing, make sure it's very meaningful because photography is a very broad tool. You can use it for activism. You can use it to tell stories. You can use it to document whatever you want to do. So always take meaningful pictures. For example, I've done the Elegant Gambians. I've worked with different organizations such as Aniket on the Memory House. And that's something that's very, very big because, the Memory House is the victims of IJMA, their stories in tool, and that's something that's gonna be in the Gambia forever. So always take meaningful pictures. Just don't take any random pictures. Whatever you're doing, make sure it has a story behind it. It's a story for whoever sees your pictures. they learn one or two things from it. So always take meaningful pictures. You know, you can do a lot. You can do activism, you can do rape stories, you can do, documentaries, fashion stories, whatever you wanna do. But always make sure your pictures are very, very meaningful.
I'm not gonna lie, professional photography is expensive because all his cameras, gears, and equipment combined cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. But all that started with just one phone. And in the beginning, he was doing lots of free work, doing all these shoots that were not making him money. But in return, he was learning and gaining experience from them. And now he's doing well for himself. And he's still learning and improving. He said this is a field that you can't afford to be idle in. You have to be on your toes always. If you find this video insightful, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel. It will mean a lot to me because I'm trying to grow this channel and now I'll be creating content regularly, inshallah. Thanks for watching. See you when I see you.